Hello, this is Angie Burns, the owner and publisher of Allen City Lifestyle, and welcome to the Allen City Lifestyle podcast. On our podcast, we celebrate the positive, supportive, and inclusive contributions of local businesses, organizations, and individuals making an impact on our community. We like to celebrate all of the amazing things that are going on in Allen, Fairview, Lucas, and Parker, and share them with our listeners so that you know the best-in-class businesses, the organizations making a difference in our community, and the individuals who are making an impact on our residents here in our area. Hello, Megan. How are you today?
I'm good, Angie. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for coming to City Lifestyle with Angie Burns podcast. We are here talking with Megan. I want to say Woodall because I've known you for so long that I know her former name, even though
It's been 20 years.
It's been Demsky for like 20 years, but I still revert. We went to high school together. That's how long we've known each other. So Megan Demsky with Genesis Children's Theater in Plano. So Megan, tell us just general overview of what is Genesis Children's Theater? And then we'll jump into details.
Yeah, great. So Genesis is a children's theater that my mom and I started 15 years ago. We are a nonprofit. And the reason why Genesis came about was because we saw a need in the community to have a children's theater that operated more like a professional theater rather than a children's theater. So we blend those two things together. We like to keep our classes small, our cast size is small. Our teachers are very intentional about how they direct. We say that we are a mentorship program disguised as a theater. We believe acting training is human training. So you're going to see a lot of the same kids come through our doors constantly because not only are they in a show, but they're also learning mentorship from us, our theater as a whole, our staff, and the students as well. So we put on musicals, we put on straight plays, we put on Shakespeare for all ages. So from grades first all the way to seniors. And actually our summer show, it'll be the last show that our seniors, so they had already graduated in May. It'll be their final show with us, and that's always
And you even do shows with the staff, so there's adult productions as well that incorporate the kids and the staff, which are really fun. Some of my favorite ones to come see.
Yes, that is unique to Genesis. Not only is it super duper fun, but it's also like professional development. It's important that our teachers remember what it's like to be an actor, and that makes them better teachers again. And then, the cycle just continues and continues.
I want to focus on your teachers for a minute because a lot of times there's that whole thing of those that can do, those who can't teach, but yours can and have.
And do.
Like everybody that works at Genesis is a professional in their field. They're not just somebody who's a hobbyist or who loves theater and loves kids. So I want to, direct at this children's theater. They are actually professionals. You personally have been in New York, been on tour, done all of the things and checked all of the boxes and then come back to share that gift with other people. So tell me a little bit more about your staff and the accolades and accomplishments that they've had and the training that they've had to be the best to give our kids to.
Yeah, so there for a while we said that all the Baylor people that had graduated from Baylor came back to work at Genesis. We had a ton of Baylor people. But yeah, so I'm very intentional about who I hire on my staff. They go through a mentorship process with one of our directors so that they also have time to learn how we do things at Genesis. And so they are also excellent communicators and they're excellent designers. They are all, like you said, professionals in their own field. One of our teachers, she and her writing partner just wrote a musical. We traveled it to New York. We performed it at 54 Below, and that's just last summer. So, and she's constantly writing in film, and we have lots of our directors that still have fantastic relationships with their professors all over colleges all over North Texas and beyond. Our teachers stay with us for a very long time. That's not to say that they get stale because we constantly are reviving our program and figuring out what works and how can we make things go better? How can we serve our clients better and our students better and make things even more professional? How can we level up? How can we offer even more than just the show?
We have more fantastic information coming your way, so stay with us because City Lifestyle with Angie Burns will be right back. At City Lifestyle, we only partner with best-in-class businesses. And a lot of times people will ask me, well, what does that mean? We do a very rigorous vetting process for anyone who is allowed to advertise in our publications. We only partner with people who are 4- and 5-star businesses and who have great reviews with Better Business Bureau, have all of their licenses and certifications up to date. We want to make sure that our readers and listeners are only being recommended businesses who are going to go above and beyond, so you know you are getting a best-in-class business.
And that lack of turnover says a lot about the culture of Genesis, and what you instill in your kids is coming from the top. And everybody loves being there. They love the environment there. And tell us a little bit more, because I feel like full disclosure, my kid goes to Genesis. I've known Megan a very long time, so I have a lot of familiarity with it. But people don't, when they think about children's theater, they think it's a toxic culture. They think of the stage moms, they think of the divas, they think of all of that. And I always tell people whenever somebody asks for a recommendation for a children's theater, Genesis is the opposite of that. Genesis is a loving environment. It's a positive. It helps with self-confidence. It helps with all of the communication skills. It doesn't just help a kid be a star on a stage. Like everybody thinks their child's going to be a superstar, but you really focus on the mentality with these kids of it's not about being the star, it's about being a part of a whole. That's right. And it's about being an asset to the team and the family. So talk a little bit more about your culture, because it is so different from most children's theater programs that are out there.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for saying that. We work really hard for that to be the number one thing that comes across people's minds. And when they speak about Genesis, we want those things to come forward beyond my kid's a star, because you're right. That is not what we're in there for. Actually, a lot of our students now, a lot of them want to go and be lawyers and doctors and mathematicians. Like, we have a ton of different kids.
Did you know that theater undergraduates are actually the number one applicants to law school?
That does not surprise me.
Kids that come out of theater programs go into law school because they have the communication skills, the confidence, and the performative aspect it takes to be lawyers.
Did you know there was also a study of studying an actor's brain versus like a surgeon's brain? And they said actually actors...
And we're not just crazy people.
I know. You have so much more going on in your brain. Rather than performing a single task, you are thinking about so many things, not only what you are doing, but what the people around you are doing and what the audience is doing. And, ignore that, crying baby over there. And I got to think about my costume change. Like, we have to think on so many different levels. It's really remarkable.
That's why all of us have ADHD as well. Every actor. I've never met an actor that does not have ADHD.
Yes,
so.
Yeah. And we're also really amazing about being our own CEOs of our own, because we have to.
We have to, yeah.
So yay actors.
Yeah, so let's go back to culture.
Culture.
So the culture with actors, we're all a bunch of crazy people with a million tabs open in our brains. But the culture of it it gets a bad rap. Everybody's like, oh, Hollywood, it's so toxic, it's so this. But it doesn't have to be.
Right.
And that's what I really love about Genesis. So talk a little bit more about, like, one of my favorite things that you guys do is the love notes and all of the things that you do to really make that environment welcoming and loving and nurturing.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit more about that and the casting, how you get beyond when people come in that are new and may not know, kind of what your take on that is.
Yeah, so thanks for asking that. So one of our things that we're very intentional about is that we only single cast at Genesis. And I think that just from that decision alone, that puts the focus on us as a team, rather than when you double cast, you put the emphasis on
or triple or quadruple cast, as some do, because it's all about turn and burn. How many kids can I get through the door to make $1 on?
Exactly. And what I say is double means half. So if you're double cast, actually that means you get half the rehearsal time, half the performance time, and we're not about that. So that decision alone makes everybody on this, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. And the parents that are into that, the students that buy into, you're right. Actually, even if I am wherever I am in the show, I'm going to get my time to shine on stage. I'm going to get personalized attention from the director, because there's only 20-ish of us and I am the only person playing my part. So I get individualized attention. So there is that I'm going to say intentionality like a million times because we are so intentional. But I think that also, that's the foundation of the culture. And then we are also constantly community building. So we're doing exercises and games and, just really pouring into our kids over and over again. You need to be a good friend for your friend. You need to be the model for everybody to, look after. And there are all eyes on you all the time. And, you need to stick up for, what we as a team establishes, what our goals are and, the things that we hold dear. You've got to be all of you guys are leaders in this, and they really buy into that. And so, I believe the energy you give out is the energy that you're going to get back. So the people that have continued to stay around and continue to build, find those same values of, I want my kid to not only perform on stage, but to be around other kids that are really incredible, that are going to hold them accountable, that's not going to let them do any stupid stuff. And just our families are so giving. So it just kind of balloons out of that. And we want to nurture that culture. So you mentioned love notes. So we believe that words are incredibly powerful, which is why we are intentional about the notes that we give and how we speak to our students and how we direct our students and encourage them. So love notes is something that is unique to Genesis, and it happens on our closing day. And the director writes a handwritten note to each one of our students in the cast. And they talk about their journey from the beginning of auditions all the way through rehearsal. And they point out, an awesome moment they had on stage, or what people are saying backstage, like our moms and crews back there. Like, we noticed that when somebody needs a hand, you are always there to, move this set piece or to help your friends zip up their costume or whatever it is. So those things we want to write down with your hand and not on a computer, and speak those words to you and in front of everybody. And those kids take those cards and they keep them forever.
My son has all of them.
Yeah,
he has all of them, and he absolutely loves reading it. And what Miss Katie or Mr. Davis or whomever he worked with, he remembers, they thought I was so nice to everybody, or they thought, and it's not you were great in your part, or you were a star on stage. Sometimes it's, you did shine, but a lot of the times it's about the humanity of it. It's like, you were such a good cast member. You were such a good friend. It's the human qualities that they really are taking away from it, which I absolutely love.
Stay tuned. We will be right back with City Lifestyle with Angie Burns after these short announcements. Thank you for tuning into City Lifestyle with Angie Burns. We are committed to being involved in our community and giving back as much as we can. If you would like us to come out and throw a neighborhood block party for your community, please contact us. We bring out bounce houses, DJs, ice cream trucks, and we would love to get your feedback on our publication and introduce you to our highly qualified and vetted advertising sponsors. We do not sell anything at the events. We just come out, throw a party, and get to know our neighbors so that we know how to best serve our community. So let us know if you would like us to come out to your neighborhood. We typically serve our neighborhood for block parties during the months of May, June, July, and October for trunk or treats. So reach out to us at Angie, ANGI.Burns@citylifestyle.com to book your City Lifestyle block party today.
One thing that I found as a parent is you don't have the stage moms trying to take over.
No.
You are very good and intentional with, here's what you're allowed to do. This is your lane. This is our lane.
That's right.
Here's what we're in charge of. Here's what you can do. Here's what you can do to help us, but you're not in charge. And I think that's where a lot of the problems come with parents in these situations, is they think they're in charge, but they're not the experts.
Right.
And you guys are very good at saying, here, we need your help. Here's what we need your help with. And we would love to have your help, but this is what we need. The rest of it is nonsense.
Yes.
And I love that value.
Well, and again, to circle back to the beginning of our conversation, was that was part of the reason why we built Genesis the way that we did, is that we wanted it to look like a professional theater. And in a professional theater, the theater takes care of your costumes. You are not expected as a cast member of a production to purchase a certain amount of tickets. Like that is the theater's job to do that for you. So one of the things that we always infuse into our rehearsal process, and we can do it because we have smaller cast sizes and 1-person-to-1 role. So we have all this rehearsal time built in to where we can do lessons and games. So we can talk about motivating your entrances and motivating your exits and your, character's arc and all that kind of stuff. We build that into our rehearsal time because we intentionally did that. And that not only does that, build our kids up for the next level as they continue to level up in our program, but our shows are incredible.
They are.
Like, you can come see a Genesis show. I had a grandmother send me a message on our website the other day, and she said, I'm thinking about taking my grandkids to your level 1 show. Be honest, is it just like an after school kind of thing, or is this something that people can actually come to? And I said, you will be so shocked about how amazing these students are. It is not just putting kids up in little costumes and letting them run around. Like, they have their blocking, they are polished, they, their costumes look sharp, the set looks sharp. Like, you will be amazed.
My favorite thing is that you guys don't rely on the spectacle of a fancy venue. You have 2 theaters within Genesis that are black box style theaters. They are smaller theaters. They don't have all the bells and whistles, but they have what's needed because the focus and the attention is on the actors.
Right.
It's on the kids. It's not on the spectacle of everything. And you can still do a great show without this huge production budget.
Yeah.
But having the kids know what they're doing and carry the show.
Yeah.
And I think that is very unique to Genesis and very commendable.
Yeah.
To you all for not saying, hey, look at this shiny new toy that we have.
Yeah.
But look how amazing these kids are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about when you want to go see your favorite band, right? If you had the choice between going to see them at like the American Airlines Center or seeing an acoustic set in like a 70-seat theater, where are you going to go to see your favorite band? Like, you want to be up close and personal. You want to be in the songs with them, absorbing. You don't want
everything. All the auto-tune. You want it raw and real.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So if you imagine like what the parents feel when they are right next to the action, they are seeing their kid shine right in front of their face. Like, it's an experience, it's remarkable. And once the show starts, a good story is a good story. It doesn't matter what kind of props, costumes, sets, whatever, you're going to get enveloped in that story. And think about, what are the sizes of professional theaters in New York and Chicago,
That's what a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people, especially from Collin County, the people around here, they expect when they go to New York, they're underwhelmed.
Right.
Because they're like, I expected a Broadway show to be in this big giant theater. It's like, Broadway shows are like 500-seat theater. They are very small compared to our high school auditoriums that we have here.
Yes.
The high school auditoriums are 3 times bigger than any Broadway theater that I've ever been to. And I go to a lot of Broadway theater. Yeah. And they are so much smaller and more intimate and more, it's the relationship at that level that is so different. It's not all about putting on this big, gigantic production. Yeah. It's honestly about having it real and authentic. And I love, love, love that. Okay, close it out with, what do you have coming up? Where can people find you? And what is your favorite thing about what you do?
Oh, gosh. Okay, well, let's go backwards. Okay. My favorite thing about what I do is, oh my gosh, seeing a student get it. That light that comes on where you've tuned to the right channel to where they finally understand it, and then they are able to apply it, and then like, they soar. It's magical. I love that moment. What we've got coming up, well, our summer registration is open, so we do almost 22 shows a year.
Wow.
So that is a lot. We're doing like two shows a month. So we are constantly rolling shows out. So so whenever you listen to this, I'm sure registration is open for something. And then
but your registration goes quick, so they need to be on it because it is a coveted spot. Because you don't open it to just everyone, you do close your registration. You are about quality, not quantity.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things that people don't realize is they're like, oh, I didn't get my kid in. It's like, well, registration closed, it's closed.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah. We've got several camps that, this is right now we're in May and our, July, August camps are full. They're already, on a wait list. So yeah, you're right. They do go fast.
And so do tickets to the shows.
Yes.
So when you come see the shows, get your tickets.
Yeah, that's right. If you can't be a part of our show, come see our shows because our students need to practice in front of a live audience. It is not theater until we have an audience. When you come and buy a ticket and you sit in the audience for a Genesis Children's Theater production, you are standing up for the value of what these students are practicing in front of your very eyes, which is having eye contact with somebody like you and I are speaking right now. Like, this is very difficult for this coming generation because they are on their phones or, watching TV. So even just this
it's foreign concept. Yeah.
It's huge. Just them standing up and being emotive, having an emotion that is, or living an experience that is outside their own and being part of a community. Like that is what you are supporting when you come see a show. So even if you can't be a part, come see a show.
That. So where do they go to come see a show? Tell us where you are and how to get a hold of you and find out what's going on.
Awesome. So our website is genesischildrenstheater.org. And we are located in Plano, Independence and Parker. So there's a Tom Thumb right there. And so we are right in that shopping center, tucked away in the corner. And there we are. You can email admin@genesistheater.org if you'd like some more information or give us a call. 972-599-3505.
Awesome. Well, I'm so glad you got to be here today. I love when we do podcasts with people that I'm passionate about it. Yeah. For those people that don't know, I have a theater background too. So that's how we connected 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So I love whenever we have something that I can be passionate about, and I see how much passion you have for it. And I love that you instill that passion into the kids. So thank you for what you do. Thank you for coming on our podcast, and we will see you all next time.
If you are looking for the best place to market your business to our local community, please consider City Lifestyle Publications. I personally own the Allen and Plano territories, but we have over a dozen luxury publications in our area. We are a nationwide brand, so we have over 200 publications across the nation, and we really do value high editorial integrity, beautiful photography, and making sure that your story is told in a respectable and beautiful way. So if you would like to learn more about how to become an advertising partner of City Lifestyle Publications, feel free to reach out to us because we are your ticket in the door to get you face to face with your next client.